Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to the Adventure Incorporated podcast. I am your Dungeon Master, Anthony Reed. This is episode 141, and the fourth episode of the Homecoming story arc. Thank you so much to everyone who came out last night to our live tavern night. We had so much fun. We were so glad to see everybody there. Things like that are just such a blast, and we could not do them without our patrons. If you missed the show last night, you didn't get a chance to join us live, you have another chance to listen to it. It's to go over and become a patron at patreon.com/adventureinc. Join all of the fine folks like Francis, who help make this show grow and do cool things and make it possible for us to do stuff like that tavern night. If you want to see more stuff like that, make sure you head over and become a patron. Make sure you're liking us on Facebook and following us on Twitter, and don't forget to drop us those 5-star reviews on iTunes or whatever service you use. You guys are the only way people learn about the show, and we really appreciate everything that you guys have done so far, but just keep spreading the word. That's all I've got this week. Let's get started. Nobles and farmers, knights and wenches, gather round to hear a tale of excitement and mystery. Brave adventurers facing grave dangers. Keth, the fighter monk.
Guys, there's a lot of puppy in this cloak. I needed to say it.
What?
Jennuvera, the sorcerer.
Jennuvera, you're sitting there next to Clyde, who just goes, "What the fuck?"
I hold up my hand for a high five.
Gebetto, the rogue.
As soon as they see the five of you, their expression hardens.
Well, we'll see you later. And Gebetto just turns.
Gillik, the paladin warlock.
But you're dying again, right? Like, you die, then you get a spirit.
And you're nothing.
And then
you become nothing.
And then you're nothing. That sounds like bullshit. Let's go kill the Death Lord.
And Asher, the druid barbarian.
Yeah, but I'm asking specifically why Jeff is important to Asher.
It's just the first name. You know what? I don't have to justify this.
Let us recall what happened when we last left our heroes.
What if
Obviously,
I stay?
I don't...
What? And you take Clug back.
Thank you, Jennuvera, Gillik. I appreciate it, and I'm really hopeful that I get to see you guys again.
You will.
Prepare yourselves, for this is the tale of Adventure Incorporated.
So let's get started. After the others leave, you guys head off back to sleep for the night. In the morning, there's sort of a knock on the barn door, and it's very bright, like just about dawn. And it's Clevin. He says, "How'd everyone do out here?"
Oh, hey.
Hi.
Clevin.
Hi.
Hey, so just real quick, just something to tell you. I'm just gonna lay it out. I'm just gonna let you know. Because obviously you just see two of us here. So you know your boy.
I know of him, yes.
Yeah. He's actually our friend. He founded the adventuring company that we are now in charge of, but he got very sick, so we put him in a robot suit, and now he's dying. So, our friends, our other friends, the rest of us, took him back to our adventuring place so that they could heal him, and we're here to be your boy.
He sort of like steps inside and he like sits down on a bale of hay. He's just kind of like chewing at something in his mouth, like his lip, chewing at his lip a little bit. He's like, "Okay."
Okay. We have money for you. because they took some of your horses.
Well, if today goes how I think it's going to go, we probably wouldn't have been able to take care of many of them anyway. So the money will do us good with what I'm planning. So,
what are you planning?
Well, it was rather fortuitous, I guess, that you guys came the day you did. The boy was going to load up some carts for me, and we were going to try to take some of the food over to the refugee camp and trade it for entry into the city if we could.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. It's amazing that you're helping people. That's really good. But also, my friend Gillik and I actually kind of wanted to go talk to the king.
Yeah.
So...
Any chance you can help us with that?
No. Nope. I have no idea how you're going to get in to talk to the king. That feels, unlikely, honestly, but
if we're going into the city, we can all try.
Well,
you don't have to try.
We're going to try to go into the city. Like I said before, the city's been locked down. Nobody really gets in or out, but I'm hoping that, well, I was planning to sell the boy, but whatever grain we can sell, plus the boy, I was hoping we could get enough to maybe sneak our way past some guards, bribe the right people, and get where we need to get.
Oh, yikes. Okay. Okay. We are not for sale.
No, you're people. Why would you be for sale?
Well, so is Klug.
The boy?
Yeah, he's also a people.
Yeah, he's a person.
Didn't say much for people.
No, I know. I told you. It's the whole sickness thing and leaky crystals and...
Look, I didn't know he was a people. If he was a people, that's a
like...
different story. But when I met him, he was just a thing that responded to your commands. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that we came when we did.
He was just a magical construct as far as I could tell. I got real lucky.
I mean, if is magic just magic? Wait, what? That doesn't even register for me. Just a magical construct. It's still alive. Damn it.
Well, there's a guy. Used to be a wizard who lived down the way. He can use magic, make a rope wiggle. To me, I just thought that's what this was. Just a magical moving suit of armor. But if there was a person inside, that's a totally different... I didn't know about that.
That's okay.
It's not really a person inside, but it's still a life.
Sure, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's all right. Just the good news is we're here, and we have money...
Words per word choice.
We have money that we can use for bribes.
Yeah.
Do you like magic? Do you think magic is cool?
I like magic a lot. If it loads the wheat up onto the cart so that we can head out today, that'll be... I'd really like that magic a lot.
Ooh, actually... And Jennuvera, raises up her hands because she wants to use her new spell that she hasn't gotten to use yet, which is telekinesis. So, she would be able to pick up a whole thing and put it in the cart, but then she stops herself because that is a huge waste of a huge spell. She says, you know what, actually, I can do that. But it makes me very, very tired, and I wouldn't, I could do that with a person, too, so in case, things get dicey out there and I need to fly an orc far away from us,
Well, then maybe you just better get started the old-fashioned way, and I'll go get things ready for the day.
Yeah, I'm gonna... What things go in the cart?
He points to all of the bundles of hay and wheat that they have bundled up, along the inside of the barn. It looks like probably an easy 200 bundles of big bales of wheat and hay. He says, fill up the cart. If you run out of space, there's a trailer behind there you can use instead.
Okay.
And he just leaves.
Wait. Okay.
Okay, Gillik, so this is super lucky. We're going into the city. Hopefully, I've got a lot of money. I know we talked about this last night, but I have a lot of money. Yeah.
Go on. Tell me more.
At least 10 times what any of the rest of you have. I don't know how it works. Clyde probably just paid me more because he likes me the most out of everyone. I'm just hoping that's what the case is. I don't think that's actually true, but if we can bribe our way into the city, then maybe we'll have a chance to go talk to the king today. Do you think we could do that? Do you think we're ready to do that?
What, talk to the king right now?
I mean, if we can see him, we might not get another chance. I don't have that much money. We really want to convince him that...
The first thing we have to do is we got to go talk to the king, and this is just for my own sake of making sure we get the things done that need to get done. I want to outline what are we going to talk to the king about? What's our end goal? What do we want to accomplish before? And Gillik takes out his journal and says, "All right, what are we trying to accomplish?"
So Jennuvera has taken out her journal to read back her list of plan.
Okay. List of plan.
Kind of
the list of plan.
Gillik a smile because they both have their journals and it's fun.
Excellent.
Okay, so we have to convince King Greywood that he needs to get the kingdoms back together. We need to convince him that this is a bad idea to split the kingdoms up. Because remember,
right there. I want to make sure I catch all the notes. King Greywood, unite kingdoms.
Yep.
Okay, that's goal 1.
That's our only goal with King Greywood.
Okay, so goal, King Greywood, unite the kingdoms. All right. Why wouldn't he want to unite the kingdoms?
Because he just dissolved them. So,
King Greywood, unite the kingdoms.
Yep,
right,
because remember in Gorm's memory, how one of Gorm's purposes was to disband the kingdoms so that they wouldn't, because when he was facing Elatrix, all of the kingdoms banded together to fight Gorm. So he said, okay, we'll break up the kingdoms. Mm-hmm. And if we break up the kingdoms, then maybe only Elatrix will have his Carapath army against me and I can beat them. What he didn't count on was just Carapath's army having the weapons of Iron Shaper. So we have Iron Shaper's weapons. Right now the kingdoms are disbanded, but if we can convince, and Greywood was one of the biggest, correct me if I'm wrong, Anthony, Greywood was one of the biggest supporters of disbanding the kingdoms because he's a kind of a real butt face.
At the Council of Kings where the kingdoms were broken up, and you guys don't have perfect information about this, just sort of the general story that everyone has gotten. He was the on the fence swing vote.
King Greywood was a swing vote, so he's the only one we could potentially convince.
Garhand was
it was Garhand was pushing for it, and Victoria Callis was pushing for it, and they used the Lady of Knives to shift the vote. Right. And then Greywood, who was on the fence, leaned toward their side, basically.
Right. So we can, because we have, because we're such good friends with Clyde, and he's the king now, we can tell him that Clyde wants to get the kingdoms back together. So really, it's just King Callis and King Garhand that don't. The rest of them are majority. If we can just convince him, then we'll have all of the kingdoms together with Iron Shaper's weapons, and we will absolutely be able to defeat Gorm. We can totally do it. Yeah, and remember that weapon that Adnan and Iron Shaper are working on?
Sure do.
That needs all of the kingdoms together, too. So it's super important that all of the kingdoms are united.
Okay, all right. So, and Greywood just dissolved them because...
That's probably something you'd have to talk to him about. You guys don't really know him well enough to know why he made that choice.
So we don't know why he dissolved. He was just like, fuck it, I'm sick of being united, so we're getting rid of it.
Well, so I think what Gorm did was he did his little sneaky. Remember when Asher, as Gorm, went to the king and was like, I think King Callis.
Keep going.
He went to a king and said, "You don't need everyone else. Think about your country first. It's more important." Blah blah. That
was Greywood that he went to.
Fuck, I can't. Okay, I keep confusing Garhand and Greywood and.
Yeah, that was Greywood who he went to.
Okay.
All All right, who could we ask? All right, who could we ask about why? I don't want to go to King, empty-handed on info. So, who could we ask about why he would dissolve the kingdoms?
That's a great question. Maybe we can put on our best charm and ask around if we can even get near the castle. Maybe we can ask people near it, like detectives.
I like where you're going with this. I feel like, yeah, let's do that. You got some coin on you, right?
Yeah. I mean,
All
you
right.
do too, right? Did you
of
spend
course.
it all on alcohol?
Gillik takes a sip from his flask, and then says, "Not all of it. But I spend a good portion of it on alcohol. Yes."
Maybe that's why I have so much more money than everyone else.
All right. So are you guys going to start loading up the carts?
Yep.
All right. It's hard work being a farmhand. But you guys manage after a couple of hours to load everything up. And Clevin comes back out, helps you. After a couple hours, he comes out and helps you with sort of the tail end of it, getting everything loaded into place. And he says, "All right, well, I guess our next step is to load up the family and get this show on the road. It's going to be a good week and a half of travel, so we should just be prepared for that."
Great. Okay, I can't wait to meet your family.
Well, my wife's going to be coming out and our daughters, so I'll go and let them know.
That I can't wait to meet them?
Sure. I'd
Yeah,
give you... Go ahead.
Give a good word for me. Tell them I'm super nice. I don't really make a great first impression with people sometimes, so if you give them a heads up.
Yeah, you don't say. If you could... you guys could just get ready. There's no space in the carriage, and sadly I don't have enough horses for us all to go, so it's going to be kind of slow going, but I'll just load up and just make sure things don't fall off the back.
Okay.
He goes in and gets his family, and out come his wife and daughters. His wife's name is Meredith. She's an elf. Yeah, she's an elf with red hair, and she's very beautiful, if not a little plain. And she she introduces herself. She says, "Oh, it is a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for helping us with this. Sad to see our hand go, but we understand that he is a good friend of yours."
Gillik immediately develops a crush on Meredith.
I wish my face right now made noise.
Well, you have a mouth, so I mean, anytime you want.
That's bad. And then their two daughters, who are half elven, they are young. At least they appear to be young. Maybe 10 and 12. And they are Marin and Sky.
Maren.
I had Merin, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Like Meredith, it's...
Oh, and Clevin.
Yeah.
Clevin is human?
Clevin is human, yeah.
They Brangelina-'d their daughter.
Hey, man, that's... That's what they chose to
my
do.
God.
But then they have Sky, Skye.
Marin's not bad. I don't mind that. Marin's fine. I'm okay with Marin.
I would be fine if Anthony didn't explain why it was it.
So Marin and Sky both seem like great kids, but they're not very talkative, and they load up into the carriage part that the hay is loaded in the back of, and then they strike off, and Clevin just sort of turns from the front. He says, "Just keep up. Shouldn't be going too fast anyway."
Okay.
And you guys begin your journey. Is there anything you want to do during so basically you spend a lot of the day walking. Sometimes things fall off. You manage to get them back on. You guys stop for food and for rest and to let the horses get a break every once in a while. Is there anything you guys want to do during this downtime on your travel to Mare Glade?
Yes. 2 things.
Okay.
First thing, okay, so Gillik, I guess I didn't realize the city was this far away. This is going to be our only shot. So I think we need to make a list of 5 excellent points on why the kingdoms should be reunified. Just so we can have notes, because this is going to be our only chance to talk to King Greywood.
Okay. 5 excellent points why kingdoms need to be reunited. Got it.
So I want to do that list of 5 things. So 1. Honestly, friends is the only thing that's coming to my mind. So this is really where I need your help.
Friends, just stick with friends. What's 2? Let's just get 5. Let's just get 5 things, and then we'll build off of those 5 things. Friends, 1, 2. Give me a second thing.
Can you give a thing?
5 excellent points why the kingdoms need to be united. Friends. All right, friends is important. 1, commerce, trade. I'm gonna keep trade.
Yeah,
right.
That's a good one. What is the benefit of being unified? I don't really know that much about, the world.
5 excellent.
So it's good that that the kingdoms are unified because they get the things that the other countries have.
Yes. Well, I mean, any given plot of land can only have so many resources. So if one plot of land has 2 types of resources but needs 4 to survive, and then one other plot of land has 3 resources and they need 2 to survive, 2 of the other guys, then you establish some kind of trade thing, and you can. I'm sure there's some kind of game you can build off of that. But anywho, trade is very important. So friends, I like the friends avenue because I like my friends to stay alive a lot. I would rather my friends stay alive than not alive. And when the kingdoms are united, the probability of your friends staying alive goes up.
Okay, maybe we close with that one.
All right, cool.
Okay, so commerce and... Nope, I wrote commerce and friends. Commerce and trade.
I don't know. I feel like 2 excellent points on friends and trade.
I did write friends
Friends
twice,
trade.
So.
That's what friends do. They trade.
Okay, commerce and trade. So I guess pooled resources for armies and is that in the same category as commerce and trade, or that we should put that as its own separate one, right?
I'm sorry, say that again. I only heard part of you.
Resources, sharing military resources.
So that's the interesting thing, because if we shared all of the military resources, I don't know. Could you do that? That's an interesting question. That one, I don't know if I want to give a direct answer on how we should handle that one.
I'll put a question mark next to it.
Keep military is always a question mark. I like that. Keep the military question. I don't know. I don't have any experience on that.
Okay. So something else. Should we tell him that there's a really scary evil guy trying to blow up our world, and that reunifying the kingdoms would be the only answer? It kind of feels like the most important point right now.
So
I don't know why it took me until bullet point 4 to remember that, but telling the truth is always an option. It's crazy.
Here's the thing. I like telling the truth. I mean, first off, we haven't said anything that wasn't the truth yet, but I like saving that big one for the end, so you can make all these little points of why it's a good idea. And then you go, but this is the actual real reason why we need to do it this way. You can give all the really cool stuff at the beginning. Say, yeah. Here's some good information, but also this is the really important one.
Okay.
So I like ending with the big one.
The actual truth.
4, the actual truth. Please and thank you.
Gorm. Okay. So my second thing that I wanted to chat with you about, good planning, by the way, high five.
Air high five. That was a Scrubs reference.
I wanted to see if
best. Sorry.
If we could look at your journals. I know you've been writing some, crazy symbols and that you can't even understand. But maybe together we could. I've got some books with me always.
Good. You always have the best books. I keep meaning to ask you for recommendations, but the stuff you've referenced before, I've always enjoyed.
Cool. So, do you want to take a look at those? See if we can make sense of any of them?
Do you want to see? I mean, I just keep seeing really just kind of, a handful of symbols kind of keep popping up. I don't know. What have you seen? What have you seen so far?
Anthony, what do I see?
So when you, Gillik, when you look in the book, like I've said before, sometimes the words make sense for a little while, but then they start squiggling and moving, and the text is like shifting and changing.
Let me drink some more. That might help.
It doesn't. It makes it worse. Jennuvera, when you look at these writings, it is solid. First of all, nothing is twisting and squiggling and shifting, but the language in them is something you do not make any sense of. It looks like arbitrary scratchings, like lines going in strange directions, and just sort of if there is a symbol of if there's an alphabet of symbols to this, you have no idea what it is. You're not even seeing any like regular consistency in it. As far as you can tell, it looks like he's just like scratching lines on the page.
This house is bitchin'.
This
is that what it says?
Is bitchin'.
That
awesome.
was a reference to CW's The Flash.
Oh.
I made a reference. Thank you very much. I'll
very
save
happy.
myself out. I'm done. This is what I want to try. I want, Gillik, you said they make sense to you for a little bit. Can you read, even if it's just like random words or phrases that come to mind as you read this, can you say them out loud and I'll write them down? Because if you can like almost translate your paper, then as it starts to get wiggly, I'll have it in hard copy in my journal. So that maybe then we can start building some pieces together on what it actually says.
So, Gillik, you open one of your journals back to like a random page, and you see that you see what you wrote in response to the attack by the undead on Adventure Incorporated. Go ahead and read that. What does it say?
So, Gillik's journal is not necessarily coherent, and it's also not necessarily code. It's more just like shapes, symbols, quotes, and notes. So for the undead, there would probably be a couple sketches of what the undead looked like. Probably just like and not like great, but like whatever a ghost and some of the zombies. Probably a picture of the phylactery. And
Jennuvera, when he's like, as he says that, as he like points them out to you, he's pointing on the page at a thing that he says is the phylactery. But to you, it's the same thing, just hashes and lines and scribbles all over the page that don't make any, that you can't see. It doesn't look like anything to you.
There's probably like trinkets inside of the journal too. There's probably like little like other scraps of other notes.
Do you think Gillik wrote down any sort of like feeling that he was having at the end of that encounter?
So when Gillik looks at the pages, like especially the one of the battlefield, like in all of us, he sees like just like a red sky and just like ghosts and zombies everywhere, and the feeling is ominous. It's not. The feeling is not it's not fear. It's not fear that grips him. Although it's present. Like fear is acknowledged, but the amount of danger and the level of hordes, the feeling of the memory is just like this is just what's happening right now. There is nothing else to do but this. It's like all of the feelings are there, and it's just like, there is nothing to do now but function.
Right. And so I think after you sort of let that in for a moment, things start to fuzz and twist and shift again. And you've done what you can to sort of explain it to Jennuvera, but Jennuvera, it doesn't make any more sense now than it did before. There's clearly something in the way that the Gillik is interacting with this that is outside of what you understand. And even if you ask Gillik to write common, like any, just like the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, he can read it when he first writes it, and then it fuzzes out, but it's just scratches to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, I tried. I thought there would be some like sneaky secrets in your journal, Gillik. Like not from you, but maybe something from the I don't know if I'm like allowed to say.
No, go ahead. Say, what are you saying?
The Dark Lord.
I
don't know, like if that will call him. I don't have any part of him. Well, I might. I don't know.
Gillik? So the Dark Lord, or whatever is Shadow Lord. Oh yeah, that dude. It's kind of like, I don't know. There's shadows everywhere. You don't have to worry about it. You're just like, oh look, there's a shadow. That means there's a Shadow Lord's nearby. You're so scary, Shadow Lord. Look, you're right there. It's a shadow of something.
That scares me.
Yeah, and you know what? You know why Gillik's not worried of the Shadow Lord? Because you know what you need to make shadows? Light.
Boom. Roasted.
Really?
Boom. We're done. Done.
Really sweet,
Gillik
Gillik.
doesn't give a fuck about the Shadow Lord. Gillik was like, give me your power, Shadow Lord. No, it doesn't mean that. He's sorry. Gillik is very sorry. Goes and prays to the shower and prays to the shadows and hides in the dark for 12 hours.
Jennuvera keeps like glancing at her own shadow. I assume it's like midday and we're like walking, and so it's like she kind of keeps glancing back at it. Now she's terrified of everything that has a shadow.
No, it's cool. I like Jennuvera. I'm powered by the Shadow Lord. That's part of my power source.
Yeah.
It's like, it's okay. Shadows, we're cool with shadows.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with shadows.
Okay.
I'm cool with shadows. I'm working it out with the Shadow Lord, I think. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed.
Great. Okay. So that was kind of, I thought maybe like he was hiding secrets in your journal, and that was why.
I mean, maybe he is. That's the thing. He's a Shadow Lord. I would say. Well, actually, oh my goodness, that's a good idea. So Gillik goes back and opens up his journal and starts flipping through pictures again, and starts looking at the shadow. He's specifically paying attention. And can I make a perception check on this? This is where I'm gonna make you work, motherfucker. I'm gonna pay attention to the shadows. Gillik specifically looking at the shadows in the journal of the pictures that he's drawn. 8 fizzle.
Well, hold on.
Sure.
Because I don't think a perception check is necessary for this if you are like actively looking for something that you weren't, like perception here is sort of useless if you know exactly what you're looking at and looking for.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Like I'm looking for like how does this relate to shadow stuff? At first you're flipping through of the pictures,
and before the images fuzz and fade, you're looking for things in the shadows. That doesn't really bear fruit, but what you do start to notice is that in the back of each of these images where like the battle with the undead at Adventure Incorporated, images from the other plane of existence, images from inside the lane lines, things that you've drawn about, like, you guys standing around with Baum at the lane line of evocation, right? Like all of these random things that you have sort of been a part of. Every single one of these images has a representation of the Shadow Lord hidden in it somewhere.
Ooh.
And you didn't recognize before.
Does the Shadow Lord have a symbol? Does the Shadow Lord have a symbol?
He doesn't have a symbol per se.
Can I make up a symbol for the Shadow Lord?
Sure.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
But what you see in these images is that every time you look, you find like a dark mass with tentacles on it, hidden somewhere. Maybe it's like a carving in a stone, or it's up, like the sun is actually just the sun has like tentacles coming off of it or whatever. Like you find these like things that you overlooked every other time.
Shadow strands.
Yeah. Every other time you've overlooked them, but now when you know what you're looking for, you see that he is a part of every one of the things you've drawn. After the Mayrifa's memories. The things you did before, he's not present. After that, he's in every single one of
After
them.
Mayrifa's memories, his mark is everywhere.
Yeah.
Interesting. So everything before that, Mayrifa's memories, huh?
That's
Mayrifa's
when
memories.
you were
That's the
Viltroth
switch.
and
Yeah.
saw him for the first time.
So as soon as I saw the Shadow Lord, that's it. As soon as you see the Shadow Lord. Oh, is that? Oh. Gillik is going to just get a new, fresh journal page and draw that picture. Just draw a big, just like right in the fucking center of the page, just the Shadow Lord symbol, the skull tentacle, whatever.
And Steph, you can see that.
Oh, okay.
It is a dark mass with like 8 tentacles coming off of it.
Dark mass, just like a circle. Or
Yeah, like a
sphere?
lump. It's not spherical necessarily, but it's a.
Just like a wad of black.
Yeah.
It's a black wad with 8 tentacles coming out of it.
Yep.
Huh.
Okay. Cool. All right. That's something to put a bookmark in, and maybe we can talk about that.
That's without that symbol. That symbol. Gillik. So that's the thing that Gillik sees, and it's only after Mayrifa's memories.
Yeah, after you guys did the ritual.
So Gillik draws. Okay, and is like, all right. Gillik's gonna keep that. Gillik's gonna think about that symbol, just that 8-pointed black star squiggly thing, mass, kind of like. He's just gonna think about that symbol, just like a black on like a yellowy parchment. And just keep that in his thoughts. Just gonna keep that one symbol.
Okay.
8-pointed black star.
Okay.
Just gonna keep thinking about it. Just on the back burner, in the back of his thoughts at all times.
Great.
Okay.
So you guys travel a few more days until you guys reach sort of the outskirts of the Mareglade, the capital of Bradmont.
Gillik just says that. I don't know. Just says that to himself and just keeps right on walking with you guys.
You actually notice that so basically they have set up the walls of the city are there. Around the outside of the walls are just a bunch of refugee camps set up just outside the walls. Beyond that, they've set up like a second perimeter. And there are soldiers defending the second perimeter, presumably from orc attacks. And it looks like there have been a few skirmishes here, and it's not going great. The walls of the city are totally intact. That's a great defense point. But the outer sort of perimeter that they've set up around these refugee camps doesn't look like it's going excellently. And it actually looks like a couple of the refugee camps have actually been leveled, despite sort of these defenses that they've tried to set up. But there are a few places where the refugee camps are sort of set up to take in new people as they come up. Clevin turns. He says, "We'll be going for one of these camps. Our hope is that we can find a way to make our way into the inside of the city once we sell off all this grain."
Okay.
Inside the walls we should all be safe, but we'll see. Yeah. He pulls you guys up to one of the to one of the camps, and he sort of starts. He jumps out and starts talking to someone at the edge here. Is like, "State your business." "Oh, I'm here to sell off me grain, and I've got me family with me, and we're just looking for a place to stay now. It ain't safe out by our place anymore, good sir." And you actually sort of notice that he's playing up his accent a little bit. It's sort of a rural accent anyway, but he's sort of hamming it up for this guy. "Oh yeah,
emphasizing.
Yeah. It's just not. It's not safe out there anymore for us to keep growing all our food and our crops, and but I figured I could come and help out as much as I could with this stuff, and make sure my family gets a bed, and me stable hens as well." The guard sort of grumbles, and he says, "Well, we could use the food. I suppose we can find some place to put you up."
Oh, thank you, sir. I very much appreciate it. Oh, bless you. My family's going to be mighty happy. May the gods look down favorably upon you. And he hops up into the cart, and he sort of nods to you guys and pulls forward into, further in, and sets up, and starts, unloading his hay. And he says, now you guys go and do what you need to do. See if you can find us a way to get through here, and, I'll take the money for the horses also, just in case I need to do any sort of deals while I'm here.
Okay.
Okay.
So he takes the money from you.
Here you go. Here's some cash.
He says, go, if you guys can find a way in or whatever, then just let me know, and we'll go from there.
How much money do you think we just gave him?
For the horses, probably 60 gold.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Gotta keep accurate track of my 300,000 gold pieces.
I don't know what happened. I don't know if you picked up some, a gold that should have been split or something, but...
289,938.
Okay, so where are you guys going to go? Who are you going to go try to talk to? What are you guys going to try to do to get inside the city from here, from these refugee camps just on the outskirts?
I think that we should just walk directly towards the palace as casually as possible until someone stops us.
So you are on the outside of the wall of Mare Glade. So there's a big ass stone wall. Probably.
Yeah, then something's going to stop us real fast.
Fair enough.
My statement stands true.
And I mean, there are entrances and exits to the city through the wall, so you can head toward one of the entrance gates, and try and speak to someone there. Okay. Yeah, so you guys make your way to the wall, sort of pushing through the city. This refugee camp is filled with refugees. It's not people surviving. They're getting by, and they are surviving, and little else. In a way, it's a sort of depressing sight, especially when you realize that they are a very thin line away from any attack that comes. You hear people talking about how great it must be inside the wall. You hear people talking, cursing the name of King Greywood for abandoning them, and you see the soldiers that are here on the outside of the wall. It looks like most of them were probably patrol guards for the outer reaches of the kingdom that have all sort of that have come here, but even they can't seem to be allowed to get through the wall. This is their post out here, and they are resigned to it.
They are unhappy.
They don't seem pleased. No. You move along the inside of the wall toward the gate, and you see 5 guards at the gate. These guards are different than the ones you see out here. They're more ornately dressed, and they are standing with their backs to the closed gate, and there are people just swarming them, please, I have to get in here. Please help me. There has to be something we can do. Please, won't you help us? Oh, my child is sick. There's just everyone's just trying to get in past these guards who are just standing there with their backs to the walls, stoically.
Okay. Jennuvera looks at Gillik and says, let's use our skills. Okay? So she looks at the most important looking guard.
Gillik takes a sip from his flask. This is my skill.
Jennuvera swats his hand down and says, no, not that. Keep it together, Gillik.
That's what I'm trying to
do. She's going to cast Charm Person on the guard she thinks looks... But while they're still far enough away so that if he knew... if he resists... and knows someone cast Charm Person, he doesn't necessarily know who it was. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yep. So you cast it on the center guard. Mm-hmm. You see him sort of
snap to attention for a second. He's looking around. He does realize that someone has cast a spell at him.
Okay. Huh. Well, Jennuvera looks at Gillik and says, well, I'm out of ideas.
Well, we could actually try skillfully charming them, I suppose.
That's true.
By the way, this guard is a green dragonborn.
Oh.
The guard is a green dragonborn. Cool.
So, if you just think we should just talk to them? I was kind of thinking we could, like, thin the crowd a little bit.
You want to, like, survey and scout and stuff?
Oh, no, I meant, like, set fire to something over there so that...
No, distract them? Why? We're here to talk peaceably.
Yeah, but nobody would know that I set the fire. I'm just trying to... There are so many people here.
No. Hang on. And Gillik takes a sip from his flask. Here, have some of this.
No, thank you.
All right, that's fine. And he puts it away. And says, I just need to be calm. That's all I need to do. Just be cool. Just be calm. We're just going to talk to these people. It's going to be great.
Okay.
It's all good.
I trust you.
All right, so are you going to step up to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
You say, what's going on?
You sort of like push your way through the crowd, and all these people are talking to them, and you say, "What's going on?" And
Yeah. I want to survey the crowd, like describe the scene. I want to know what's going on.
yeah. There's probably like 600 people.
So I'm gonna pull out something old, and that Gillik hasn't used in a while because he's gonna pull out his smith's tools, and again, I'm pulling out some old shit. I'm pulling back some old shit because Gillik has a medallion of the Divine Court. Gillik has a medallion of the Divine Court.
Mm-hmm.
And what Gillik's going to do is on the back of that medallion, he's going to use his smith's tools and carve the Shadow Lord, so just the symbol, into the back of the medallion.
Okay.
As it is.
Okay.
Right. And then he's going to put another carving of it on his left gauntlet. Just on the back of it, so everyone can see it. It's like again, it's just going to be an outline of the symbol, so you can see it, but it's not. It's like that. It's got that silvery kind of etched thing into it, so you can see that it's an etch, and it's clearly the Shadow Lord, but it's shiny.
Okay.
And he's just gonna, and like everyone he talks to, he's gonna shake their hand and make sure that he clasps it on top and shows the symbol of the Shadow Lord on the top of his left hand.
Okay.
There are 600 refugees trying to mob 5 guards. Okay, and you said there was a green dragonborn.
The guard is a green dragonborn, the lead guard, the head guard.
The lead guard. Okay, so he's the head guard. He's the guy in the middle. What about the other 4?
The other 4 are there's 2 humans, an elf, and a dwarf.
Okay, and the refugees are going nuts right now.
They're not like, it's not a riot. They're just like all lined up, like trying to get them to, like they're pleading with them to let them in. It's not. They're not at like a riot level. These people don't look like they could riot. They are downtrodden.
They're riled up. Are they hungry? Do they look hungry?
They look like they are hungry, but not starving.
Okay. What seems to be the general? Is there a chant they're saying, or is it like
no? It's not like a riot.
Like,
they're not keyed up. They're just like
okay. They're just kind of they're occupying. They're occupying the.
They're
pitch.
hoping that they'll let them in. And
they're hoping that they'll let them in.
Seems
let
like
us in, let us in.
It seems like from the information you guys have gathered around, earlier on they did let people in, and so
they let a few people in.
Yeah.
Okay, why did they let those people in?
Earlier on, when there were fewer people, they were letting people into the city for protection, but now they say the city is full, and that's why these people aren't allowed in.
So the city is claiming maximum occupancy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the scuttlebutt around is that it's like still plenty of space in there, and that they don't understand why they can't be let in.
That's the scuttlebutt among the refugees.
Correct.
Is that what the guards told them?
You don't know where that came from. It's just the rumors around the camp.
It's hearsay. All right. I am going to cast Detect Thoughts on the head guard. It's 30 feet. I want to get as close to the area as I can. I have 600 people. I don't know if I'm going to sneak in.
Well, so you can like wade into the crowd.
Oh yeah, that's okay. All right. I don't know. Jennuvera, do you have any like message type spells that you can use?
No, I'm pretty much just a gun.
That's
A what?
That's Fen.
A cannon.
That's cool. I'm pretty much just a shield.
Great.
But so
no. I can tell him a joke and get in his mind that way.
well, my thought was I was going to cast Detect Thoughts on the head guard, but I just want to make sure the situation. I don't know.
Gets back to me.
I want to make sure we accomplish our goals.
Yeah, so I think that if you can detect thoughts, I think that's a super good idea. And then, since there are all these people around, you can just kind of whisper to me what you found out. I think we'll be safe. That's why I cast Charm Person from so far away. We can all kind of blend in.
So I'm just gonna walk up to the guard. But before I want to get close enough so that he can't see me and then cast Detect Thoughts.
Sure, that's fine.
And what's he thinking about?
Yeah, so you cast Detect Thoughts on the guard, and you can see him being like in his mind, you feel thoughts of sort of duty and service and protection, but then like pangs of remorse and empathy for these people. Like he's doing his job. He's keeping these people out and trying to keep them as safe as he can, but he does feel bad that they can't do more for them.
All right. Yeah.
I have a question, Anthony. Is there a part of the wall that is unprotected?
Like at the top?
That doesn't have... Yeah, no. Like a section of wall that if, let's say, someone went floating over it, nobody would really notice.
So, yes and. It looks like that there are many places along the wall that, like where the refugee camps are, that are not, there's no one like at the base of the wall guarding it. There are patrols that patrol the top of the wall, but you could find times where there were big enough gaps that you could ascend over the wall, and then and get in that way.
Okay. Hey, Gillik, I have an idea. Come with me.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
So we go
Sorry, say that again. Sorry.
I just said come with me.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we go to a part of the wall that is like that we have the best, lack of visibility. Okay, Gillik, I'm going to turn invisible. I'm going to climb up to the top of the wall, and when I get to the top of it, I'm going to telekinesis you up and over the wall, and then I'm going to climb down.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Okay.
So,
hey, worst things, if it goes poorly and we get captured, then they'll probably take us to the dungeon in the castle, and then we can figure out something from there.
Perfect.
Do you have a skill to help you, or a spell to help you get up and over the wall while you're invisible?
My strength? My climbing ability?
Because it's like an 80-foot wall. Or a 60-foot wall. Probably a 60-foot wall.
No, that's not going to work. Let's see.
Make an investigation check for me, Jennuvera.
Okay.
And Gillik. And Gillik. Both make
investigation. I'm looking for. I'm investigating my spells at the moment. Hang on. What kind of spell do we need? No, let me roll it.
11.
9.
Okay.
You think it'll work great?
while you're looking.
Oh no, it was an 11. Sorry, I have because you said it was a perception, right?
Yeah, perception. Investigation.
Investigation. Yeah. So it's +3. It's an 11. Sorry.
Okay. So with both of you having an 11, you search around and you do find a ladder that would get you like 3/4 of the way up. But yeah, that's like it's like a 45-foot ladder to get you up this 60-foot wall.
Okay. I've got good strength. No, I don't.
No, you don't. I don't know what you're thinking.
Wait, what's your strength?
No, I don't.
Okay. So, are you enacting this plan?
Yeah.
Great. You raise the ladder and push it up against the wall. There's sort of like a click, click as it hits up there. Gillik's standing by down below. You cast the invisibility spell on yourself and scramble up the ladder. While you are climbing the ladder, a couple of the refugees come over to Gillik, and they're like, What's going on over here?
What do you mean what's going on? What are you looking at?
The human...
Here, have some of this. Gillik takes a sip from his flask and just hands it to him.
Oh, yeah, they start sharing your flask around.
Yeah. That says here, Gillik says, enjoy that, and hopes none of the rest of them talk to him.
You've basically completely derailed whatever they were worried about the ladder. They've just started like sharing the drink amongst themselves. They're chatting with one another. Jennuvera scrambles the rest of the way up the ladder. Jennuvera, you reach the top. You've picked a time when like a guard has already gone past. You think you've got an opportunity here. You still have like 15 feet to try and scramble up this flat wall. So go ahead and give me your first strength saving, or your first strength check for athletics, actually, to climb.
Woo! Athletics, I rolled an 18. Oh, plus 0, so 18.
Okay.
Haha!
What?
I'm strong!
Yeah, you are.
Hold on just a sec. Okay. Yeah, you scramble about halfway up the remaining distance that you have. You have about 8 feet left to go. Give me another athletics check.
Okay, come on. 17.
Okay, yeah, you managed to scramble up the rest of the way.
Yeah!
Like, you just barely, you feel like, as you're, like, trying to get your way up here, you feel your feet slip off the wall just as you manage to snag on with your hand and are just hanging there, like, one-handed, before you pull enough strength to get yourself up and roll up onto the edge of the wall, where you are now invisible at the top of the wall.
Okay. So, I'm gonna crouch down. Like, are there, like,
Parapets?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, because I know that I'm gonna go uninvisible as soon as I cast this spell. So, I just want you to know that the goal is to, oh gosh, I might have. How
It's pronounced Josh,
far
but thank you.
Oh, I fucked up. Oh boy.
What's your range on telekinesis?
60 feet, and the spell can only move someone 30 feet.
So,
if he
here's
had
what I will
climbed-
say.
well, but-
Yeah. We will say that you managed, like, Jennuvera would know that.
Right.
Right? She would know the limitations of her telekinesis. So
She
you
wouldn't
worked
be
out.
so excited.
You worked out a
She would
signal. What is the signal you worked out with Gillik for him to climb the ladder?
I'm gonna take a little rock from the top of the wall, and is he watching me, or is he with the townsfolk?
He's just
drinking?
standing right next to the ladder.
No. Gillik. So like here, Gillik.
Gillik can't watch you. You're
Gillik
invisible.
threw money on the floor.
Right.
And passed around all of the liquor he had, and is just hanging out, making sure everything's cool.
Great. So she's gonna take a little stone and throw it at his head.
Okay, yeah. It comes. So Gillik, for you, you're at the base of the wall. Down on the ground level, you've passed out all of your liquor to all of these people who are enjoying it immensely, and a little stone pebble clinks against your helmet, which you know is the symbol to climb the ladder.
Gillik doesn't even look at the. Actually, no. Gillik picks up that pebble and puts it in a little pocket in his journal, and then starts climbing the ladder.
Okay, you climb up the ladder. You reach the 45-foot mark. So, Jennuvera, your spell will now work as intended.
Okay, so she telekinesis him up. And what my goal was, what I wanted it to look like, is her to just do this and he would go up and over like a little sweet
Like
little
like an arc.
yeah.
Okay.
So
on the other side of the wall is the interior of the city, and the city is built right to the edge of the wall. So you actually can put him on a roof on the other side of the wall.
perfect. That works amazingly. Okay.
There will be like a, if you get him the 15 feet up and over, the 10 feet over the wall, and then the 5 more feet closer to that roof, he's still going to have to drop 20 feet or so, but that's much more doable
sturdy.
than 60.
Okay.
All right.
I do it.
Yeah, so you go ahead and give me the incantation for telekinesis. What do you think the incantation for telekinesis is?
Awesome. Yes.
Okay.
So happy right now.
Faith, trust, and dragon dust.
There's this like wave of energy that washes off of your mind. First of all, it completely breaks.
I imagine your utensil is pom poms for that one.
It breaks the illusion spell that you have over you for your invisibility. That fades away. And you sort of reach out, and it is almost like with your mind tenses like a muscle. It flexes. And you feel yourself lifting with your brain, Gillik. And Gillik, all of a sudden, like almost like hands have reached up underneath your armpits. You're just like lifted up by some unseen force, and you just levitate up over, higher and higher over the wall. And then just sort of like drift slowly to the other side of the wall, and then suddenly you drop like a stone. Roll a Constitution saving throw for me, or a Dexterity, your choice. Just kidding, it's Constitution.
Either way, I rolled a 7.
Okay.
So that's a Constitution is gonna be a 10.
Okay. So you land hard on the roof of the building. Not hard enough that you destroy the building, but hard enough that you take 15 points of damage.
Ow. All right. I'm at 80 something. Jennuvera, I have a question for you.
Jennuvera's like,
Puts her finger to her lips.
yeah, puts her finger to her lips, because I'm still on the wall. So now I need to figure out a way to like jump off and over.
Yes.
Okay.
Does telekinesis let you lift multiple objects?
No.
It's just like one target. You lift a target.
One creature, yeah.
Okay.
One creature or object that you can see within range.
Okay, disregard.
I mean, I can change my target after a round of combat without having to recast the spell. So does that?
I mean, if you wanted
apply?
to, you could. There are. Yeah. No, I'm gonna let you do it. Disregard.
Hell yeah, I want to fly.
Can you target yourself with telekinesis?
That you can see within range.
So if it's a multiple turn spell, you didn't have to drop Gillik. You can just lower him down the next round, so to speak. That's 30 feet every 6 seconds.
Okay.
So we will step back. You did not lose the damage, that health, Josh. She lowers you down to the roof of the building.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, great. Then I'll do the same thing. I'll move it to myself, and then I will gently Mary Poppins down onto the roof.
Yeah, okay. And so the spell lasts how long?
I need to look it up because I didn't write it on my spreadsheet.
Okay. I'll look it up too, real quick.
Okay. Hang on a sec.
Telekinesis.
5e.
That's telekinesis, Kyle. That's
Up to
a
10
Tenacious
minutes.
D reference.
Cool.
There you go,
You
Josh.
did it.
I did it. I did
There
a
you
reference
go.
for you.
Thank you. I haven't seen. Have I seen Tenacious? I've seen Tenacious D, but it's been a while. I don't recognize that one.
It's all right. Okay.
It's up
Curse you,
to
HD.
10 minutes.
Up to 10 minutes. So you can just like keep it on also during this process if you want.
Perfect. I will do that because I think we should just get to the ground and blend in.
Okay, yeah. So you move to the. So basically, yeah, you lift Gillik up. You pull him off the ladder to the other side. You drop him on this roof. You move yourself and float down to the roof. You guys move to the edge, sort of like peering down into an alleyway, and you lower Gillik down into the alleyway, and then lower yourself down into the alleyway. And now you are inside the walls of Bradmont.
Gillik,
or of Mare Glade.
How cool was that?
That was so cool. I have a question for you.
Yes.
What is it like when you do that? What does it feel like in your brain when like you're lifting something with your brain? How do you like?
So
what does that feel? Describe that to me.
You know how it feels when you lift up something really heavy with your arms?
Yeah, I do.
Not
that
that
I
I'm
know.
calling you heavy. That was that sounded really mean. But
No,
that's
I
how,
didn't even take it that way.
Okay, that's how it felt in my brain.
Heavy muscle.
Right. That's how it felt in my brain. It felt like I was like lifting you, and then me. How cool was that?
I mean, you just felt like you were lifting me. That's your. I don't understand what that means, but it sounds cool.
I thought
because I can feel you lifting me. Like I know you're lifting me, but I'm just like, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, let's go to the palace.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So the first thing you notice as you sort of make your way through Mare Glade is that it is also filled with refugees. So the guards weren't wrong. It is full in here. There are people crowding the streets. There are people just like just living anywhere that they can squeeze in. The kingdom is not looking in great shape. You guys make your way through the streets of this city that you've been before, and make your way toward the palace, which is, of course, like it's built into sort of these wards for all of the noble families, and so you're going to the Greywood ward, which is where the palace is.
Cool.
You guys reach the palace, and it is being guarded. It is a similar thing to what you noticed on the walls outside. Guards with refugees sort of like filling the stairway on their way up. However, here, the guards are people you're a little more familiar with. Standing guard over the palace is Omen.
Oh, shit. Hell yeah. Yes.
Huh. Interesting.
Okay, so, Gillik, do you think we should just go up and say hey? Hey.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, let's say what's up.
Gillik pulls out his spare flask from his boot.
Standing in the center of everybody, of the team, is Carter, the Dragonborn who is the leader of Omen. The rest of Omen are on either side of him, and they're just sort of holding people back from entering the palace.
Hey, Carter.
Jennuvera?
Oh my gosh, yeah, you remembered. Yep.
Yeah, what the hell are you guys doing here?
Oh, we came to talk to King Greywood.
Hi.
Okay. What, you came to talk to King Greywood? Like,
Yes.
does he know you're coming?
No.
Okay, well, that's probably not going to happen.
Maybe, is Caleth around? We could go chat with him, and then he can get us, like, an audience?
Nick sort of growls, and Carter, like, looks to her and looks to Quentin. Quentin just sort of shrugs a little bit, and Tivin behind Quentin, like, sort of looks at Carter like, come on. So Carter sighs, and he's like, okay, you two go fast, but this is going to be a real pain in my ass.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
you two run by, and you hear like the crowd behind you erupt with anger. Unlike the people outside the walls, these people seem more fed, more they have higher spirits, and they are pissed. So when you guys run by, what the hell? You said no one could go in! And all of a sudden there's sort of this uproar, and you see Skirm sort of smiles as he prepares to like deal with this onslaught, but they do like have to push people back as they start like trying to run toward after you guys where you guys came from. But you guys have made your way up into the palace of Mareglade.
Nice. Good work.
Why is everybody so angry? I don't understand. Sorry. Why is everybody so angry? I don't get it. Why is like, what were they yelling about? Did we hear anything?
Yeah, they're just yelling about like, let us talk to the king. He needs to fix this. Fix this. Fix it now.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, what do they want to fix?
Well,
what needs to be fixed?
let's go find Caliph. He'll be able to give us a better idea.
Yeah, but they're just saying things like I don't. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
So you guys head into the palace, and you head to where you are now somewhat familiar with the layout of this palace, and you find Caliph's chambers, which are the doors are closed, but you've been here before.
I knock.
Hello, who is it?
It is 2/5 of the many pennies, your favorite adventurers.
You hear him like quickly move across the room, and just he opens the door just like a crack and sticks his head out, and he's like, Jennuvera, Gillik?
Yeah, that's us. Man, I'm really impressed that everyone remembers our names, because honestly, I had a hard time. I don't tell them, but I only remembered Carter's name. I didn't remember anyone else's name in Omen, and I felt really, really bad about it, and I felt worse when they remembered my name. So, whew.
Okay. What can I do for you? He sort of steps out of his office and shuts the door behind him.
We need to talk to King Greywood.
Okay, that's about what?
About getting the kingdoms back together.
Oh my god. Okay.
No, trust me, like, I know you agree with us, right?
Yeah, obviously.
So, right. So, let's make it happen.
It's just the two of you, right?
Yes.
And you're not, there's no one else, no one's following you, you're not here for anyone, nothing else, you're just here to talk to the king?
That's it, yeah. We had some spare time, we were hanging out in Bradmont, so we figured we'd come up here.
Spare time? Okay. I'm gonna bring you into my office.
Don't worry. Okay.
But I have to do something first. And he opens the door and steps back inside and shuts it behind him.
Is there a sock on the door when he closes it behind him?
No. A few moments pass, and he sticks his head out, and he says, okay, you can come in. But remember that whatever you see in here, it is very, very secret. And if you can't deal with that, then don't bother coming in.
Okay. Jennuvera comes in.
Okay. Gillik, are you going in?
Yeah, Gillik's going in. Gillik's while all of this is going on, Gillik's kind of just thinking and journaling a little bit. He's like kind of just like writing in his journal and pondering a few things while the conversation is going on.
Okay, you guys move into his office. Standing against the back wall is what appears to be a 6-year-old girl. She is staring out the window over Bradmont. The Caliph sort of turns to the two of you and says, okay, come with me, be respectful. He steps forward and he says, Your Majesty, may I present to you Jennuvera and Gillik, 2 adventurers from Carapath. And King Evian Redridge turns around.
Hey adventurers, DM Anthony here again. I just want to remind you that there are lots of ways to support the show. Head on over to patreon.com/adventureinc. Tell your friends about the show. Rate and review us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Links and more can be found at adventureinc.podbean.com. Thanks everyone, we'll see you next week.